Hi, welcome to my final live stream here on TikTok. If you're, new to my TikTok and you're getting this notification, like, who is this person that's saying that they're doing their last live stream on TikTok before the TikTok ban? But just to kind of get things going here. I'm gonna like play a little bit of Lenny Kravitz. I don't know if you can tell, I got the DJI mini mic and I have it Bluetooth with my iPhone here. So hopefully um, hopefully I don't have any like sound issues. But if I do, please let me know. So anyways, I don't know if you guys are on Spotify or not, but I am, and I listen to a lot of Lenny Kravitz. I think because a lot of his music, I don't know, it makes me feel good in the morning, kind of gets me revved up. And when I was testing out my mini mic, I was playing this song, and so I thought maybe I would play this song for just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started. Hi, welcome to my bedroom. This is my bedroom. I love putting lights up in my bedroom, and the art behind me was one of my roommates. She's not here anymore. Her name is Casey, but she, paints, and she says, "Do you want some of my pieces?" And I was like, "Oh, absolutely. Of course I do." And I love having little glowing lights behind me when, I do live streams. And also, just so you know, I'm not just here on TikTok. I have a channel on YouTube. It's called Not My Rabbit Hole with Tere Joyce. I also am on X at Tere Joyce, and that's spelled Tere. I'm on Facebook as well. I upload over there. I also have a Spotify podcast, Not My Rabbit Hole with Tere Joyce, and I'm on Rumble, and that's Not My Rabbit Hole. So if for some reason, uh, we end up disappearing here in the United States, and you want to follow me, those are the platforms I'm going to be on. Hopefully, we don't just get. Oh, I see a lot of you join. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Hopefully, it's not going to happen, and I want to talk about that a little bit here, but I just want to play a little bit of Lenny Kravitz. So let's listen. Okay, we'll be right back. Here we go. So I'm going to my Spotify on my old iPad, and here we go. We need more love in the world, especially now. Stand, brothers and sisters, got to let love rule. Let love rule. Come on, sing with me. Let love rule. Transcends all space and time, and love can make a little child smile. Okay, to see this won't go wrong. But we got to be strong. We can't do it alone. To let love rule. Love, love. Find the right note. We love rules. Love rules. Long song, huh? Yes, yeah, yeah. You got to, yeah. You got to. Let's love rule. Here we go. Hi, Olivia. Hey, Queen. Mama Rue 24. Sweet Pea, welcome. Bestie Party 1, welcome. NYK at Drumalove joined, welcome. Oh, Olivia, I missed class with you too. Hi. Hi. I know who you are, yeah. I love a song too. Okay. Yeah, I get into Lenny Kravitz. Let me turn this off for a second. Okay, that's one of my classmates here joining on the stream. Yes, I haven't streamed since last semester because I was really busy. But I took a creative nonfiction writing class, which I absolutely loved. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to graduate this year in digital journalism. I'm super excited. I have 17 units, so that's kind of frightening. But I'm going to be applying for the MFA program. I want to get an MFA in creative nonfiction. And I think it's a really great genre for me because I've lived a very full, exciting life. And some of you who do know me here on TikTok, a lot of my friends here are comics. They have TikTok channels. And, I am a stand-up comedian. I decided to go back to college. I'm currently, I don't want to say how old I am, but I guess I should. I like to put it this way. I've been on the planet for 62 years. I like to say that I've been here for 62 years, 62 Earth years. I think that sounds better because when we have ageism in the world, and when you get older, you get a lot of commercials for dry vagina, things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you need hormones? I see a lot of commercials. I mean, of course, I am into skincare. And one of the things that I've been wanting to do, I actually I have a domain called Pro Age Beauty. Because I'm looking for ways to stay youthful without doing any type of surgery. I think that, the fillers and, doing things to your lips and basically changing your face to where it wasn't originally the way it looked like when you were born. But I think a lot of women who do that, they look like the Joker, in the Batman movies. and very unnatural looking. And one of the things that really attracted to me to here on TikTok is all the different videos and devices and things like that, the collagen masks. I thought about like, do I want to sell product? Do I want to do all these different things? But also, I think the main thing too is mental. When you get older, uh, I think people think that, oh, you're going to stop learning, you're going to stop expanding, you're going to, it's time to, maybe start worrying about like when you're going to die. And, none of us really know how long we're going to be here, how long our life is going to be, what the opportunities that we have that are, in front of us. Like, so I feel like I just seize every day. I say that for me, I feel like I'm still coming into my own. Like I'm still like the one thing I felt like this year when the year change was like, I feel empowered. I feel empowered. I feel like going back to college made me learn so much more about the world, geology, anthropology, learning how the media works, learning social media. Part of my participation on TikTok and various other channels, being a content provider, I've learned so much more about doing shows, disseminating information, making sure that you have a good mic. I took a couple of film classes. I've taken photography. I'm interested in a lot of different things. I'm very excited to move on. I also am interested in teaching. One of the reasons why I want to get my MFA is because I want to be able to teach. I actually come from a line of teachers. My mother was an educator for, until she retired. My grandmother was an educator. I have one really super, super, super smart cousin that is he taught at MIT physics and worked on the Star Wars projects with Reagan, as well as his brother. So, we have, I don't know, I kind of feel, and my cousin that taught physics is also a writer, and he's written a few sci-fi novels and children's books and stuff like that. So I don't know. One of the best things that I could have ever done for myself as an older person was to go back to college. And if your mind keeps growing, if you keep learning, keep expanding, keep being engaged in life, having a joy and a zest for what you do, for wanting to contribute to society, for for writing jokes, for whatever, doing stand up, whatever it is, whatever makes you be passionate, do it. Do it. Take every opportunity, and you're never too old to go back to college. Uh, and the positive thing is that when you're older and you go to college, you can ride the bus for free with your student ID, and you can get a senior discount at Denny's. So it's like definitely a win-win. And I'm on the dean's list, so if everything goes well, I should graduate magna cum laude. I'm excited about that as well. Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit some stuff that's happened since the beginning of the year that is not so exciting. Has not been so great. I think like collectively, as people, and especially in the United States, and especially being a Californian, we didn't start off well. And I want to talk briefly about the fires that happened in Los Angeles, and just I don't know it's a big deal, and it's probably one of the worst fires in California, other than the Paradise Fire that happened. But I mean, in terms of Southern California, in terms of Los Angeles, the damage, what's happened is it's devastating. And now we're seeing a very bizarre politician reaction, and a lot of people are talking about it. But I just want to share it from my own perspective. Um, I lived I lived in Southern California. I grew up in Fresno, California, and I graduated from Clovis West High School. I was the second graduating class of that high school in 1981. And then from there, I wanted to be an actress. My hair's all screwed up here. I wanted to be I wanted to be an actress, and I was very serious about it. And I went to junior college, Fresno City College, for a couple of years, and I performed at a local dinner theater in Fresno called Roger Rocca's Good Company Players. And actually, the actress and musical star Audra McDonald performed there too. As a matter of fact, she was a little girl when I was maybe 16 years old. She might have been 9 or 10. When I was 16, I was singing and dancing in the pre-show cabaret. So it was really like my first paycheck I ever got. And then my mom made me work at Carl's Jr.'s, and I was miserable. And I had to wear orange and brown polyester and a hairnet, and I absolutely hated it. But the first way I ever made money was actually being an entertainer. And so from there, I moved down to Pasadena, California. And I was accepted into the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I went to study acting, and I never came home to Fresno until 4 years ago. So I spent about the bulk of my adult life in Southern California. I would say I lived there for about 40 years. I primarily lived in Pasadena. And interesting. I just saw like one of my payments go up on the screen. Never mind. I'm like, well, that's kind of a late little notification because I bought that like 6 hours ago. But anyways, so I lived in Pasadena. I lived in Altadena, which it's devastating for me to see the fire and what's burned down. I feel like I want to cry. I cried about it. And I was very concerned about my friends who are down there when it was really blazing. I can't imagine what was going on in their lives, but even not even being there, I had trouble sleeping. I kept wanting to watch what was happening. The Pacific Palisades, I used to work for the census, so I was very familiar with that drive, that beautiful drive up into the Pacific Palisades. Some of the houses were part of the territory that I did the census for. I worked for the census for about 4 years up until COVID. And I worked on, it wasn't the bicentennial that happens every 10 years. I worked on the one that I did every month, and it determined the employment rate in the U.S. So, just Hollywood, just to think about the Hollywood Hills, just everything. It's just been really shocking. And people are talking about, the celebrities, the celebrities lost their homes, and they're devastated. I watched the video that James Woods did, and how he was able to save, I think it was like a 94-year-old man that was his neighbor. Maybe he was 92, but I think he was 94, and had dementia, and got him out just at the last minute. And just the loss of your belongings, the loss of your home, the loss of your nest egg. We live in a world, right, that when we go to college and or we pursue our career or whatever, we want to know that we have our home. We have our memorabilia. We have, like, for example, my mom has given me a small little table that used to belong to my grandmother. My mom has stuff in her home that are family heirlooms, pictures, photos, your history, people's passports burned up, their birth certificates are gone. Their records are just went up in flames. And it's not so much like, because I know, like, as on a spiritual level, right? Like, when you read the Bible or you study Buddha, where you're not to have attachments in this physical reality. I mean, let's face it, like, when we go, we can't take it with us. But we can maybe pass it down to the generations below us. Your nest egg that you earned or gained that you're not going to use anymore when you're gone, you can give it to your offspring so that they have a chance to build their lives and contribute to society. So there's people, I mean, there's so many heartbreaking stories where, no, I was listening to this one woman and she goes, "This is my parents' house, and he wanted to live on the coast, and they did everything they could to have it, and creating it, and boom, just gone like that, just gone." um of course, there are the main thing that, but then I thought to myself, just even a person that lived there for so long, not being there right now, there's the desire to go home. I call that home too. The desire to go back to your past, to see your friends, to see places. Like, for example, I don't know if it's still up. I used to hang out at this little tavern bar when I lived up in Altadena. I lived. This is fun. I lived in a mansion, all right, and it was pink, and it was up on Lake Drive, and it was, the story. I don't know if it was for real or not, but I believe it is, that the Marx brothers owned it. Groucho Marx and Harpo, and it was like one of their mansions up in Altadena. There's this man who bought it. He was into publishing, and his name was John Paul. I forgot his last name right now, but it was painted pink. It was big. It had one of those Gatsby looking kind of pools in the backyard. It had a what they call it, like another little kind of like cabana that was there for the pool. And John Paul rented it out. I know this guy named Nate that moved into the cabana, helped him get in there. And there were all these different rooms that we rented out of. And my room had like hardwood floors. I had a joint bathroom with somebody else. The guy who, when I first moved in, the guy who I was sharing the bathroom with was, I don't like sharing bathrooms anymore. I've got my own bathroom now. That's for young people. But he was from the UK. He said he was in a boy band in the UK. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can go to the United States and say, yeah, I was in a boy band, and how do you actually really verify something like that? But he looked like he could have been in a boy band, I will say that, and he was a good singer. And there was a piano downstairs, and he would sometimes play, and then I would sing with him, and other people would, and stuff like that. We would kind of all hang out, and it was an experience. And when I walked down the street, you walk down on Lake Street, and up at the top there was like Altadena Drive, and then you walk down, and there was this place called the Rancho Bar and Grill, and it was like kind of like a little dive bar. It had an back patio. It had a jukebox. There was like pool tables that you can play at, and a lot of people that worked in the area. Some people worked in the entertainment industry. Some people were, going to Caltech, the Cal Arts. However, and we would kind of congregate there, and it was just like a really fun watering hole. And I don't know. I don't know if it's there. I'm afraid to ask. I'm like, well, is it still there? They used to have karaoke there, and I even hosted karaoke there. And when I was on Last Comic Standing, when I was a finalist on the first season of Last Comic Standing, they aired all the episodes at the bar, and everybody watched it and stuff, and I don't know. It's just sad. It's like a time gone by. Like I was actually living in that mansion when I got on Last Comic Standing, and they actually did footage of me at the mansion. Well, actually, I did my own footage and I turned it in, and they happened to use my own footage. Whereas, like for some of the other people that were on the show, they actually came with a camera crew, and I was kind of impressed by that because I was like, oh my god, they actually shoot my own footage. But I kind of did it like. Oh, I kind of did a play on cribs, MTV Cribs, and then I go and I open the gate and I go, and this is my crib, and then I, went around in my room and the mansion and everything like that. So, it made it on NBC. The mansion made it on the TV show, and I don't even know if it's standing anymore. I don't know if how far down did the on in Altadena, how far down on Lake Street did all of that, burn down. There used to be this place that was around the corner right next to the Rancho Bar and Grill that this guy owned, like an artist shop, and a lot of the local artists would have their artwork up. It's gonna sound kind of funny. I had this one guy that wanted to like do a cast of a woman's vagina, right? And then put it up, and then have it like the plaque would say power of the pussy or something like that. And I remember, like I said, well, maybe I'll volunteer, but I never really did. But I know that sounds weird, but I used to joke around like that, and there was just so much art, and then you go in the back, and there would be musicians playing and people hanging out, and I don't know, it's just like all up in flames maybe. Hey, it's like, sometimes, just being able to go back and see a place again and say, oh yeah, there it is. It's almost like being like holding on to like something, like going, okay, this still exists. This is still here. This is still, I remember this. We're not going to be able to do that in some places. I don't know what you guys are saying, but I'll look and see. Stephen Allen Green, welcome. See, Stephen was down in the fires and experienced it. Angel Blackwell, Tim Ash, Robin Richardson, Carol joined. Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of Stephen Allen Green, and I did upload a couple of our clips. I got to be on his show Comedy Dish that he does on Facebook. Very funny comedian. What was really fun about that that show, was that because Rick Wright and Stephen also has lived and produced shows and done all kinds of projects, film projects and stuff like that in England, they brought in this kind of intercontinental flair to comedy. And so that was really nice. I want to go to the UK. I want to go to England. I have friends over there. In the conspiracy UFO world, all right, I've got friends that are over in England. Shout out to Ben J.R. Porter, who, by the way, he's on TikTok, and he invited me today. He has a group on Facebook that, I forgot the name of it. I should look for it before I go. Just because of the TikTok ban, that we can upload our videos that maybe are not going to, I guess our accounts are going to go away. But from what I'm understanding, right, from reading the latest news on the TikTok ban, is that, if it goes into, like it's supposed to happen on January 19th, which is Sunday of all things, if it goes into effect, which it looks like it's going to, then we're not going to be able to update our app. we're not so eventually, what I'm doing right now, I won't have the ability to do it. Like this app is going to be obsolete. That's the basic understanding of it. I'm sure you guys who are on TikTok, I'm assuming you know what I'm talking about. Now, apparently, because Donald Trump had so much, TikTok was such a good platform for his election. He's, says that, he doesn't have a problem with TikTok. Or anyway, that I don't know if that's exactly how he said it, but I read the AP Style, AP Style. That's a website that journalists use for. I don't know. There's a way of writing, but the AP News, which is Associated Press, which is associated to AP Style. That's why I call it AP Style. It's not AP Style, it's Associated Press. But they were saying that there was that thing about how TikTok helped him with his election, which makes sense because maybe in terms of Donald Trump, there's less censorship for him than he had on previous platforms, like what happened to him on Twitter, but now he's back on X. What happened, on Facebook or whatever, right? So much happened. Now the inner fighting between Trumpers and non-Trumpers seems to have like been squashed down right now because of the fire, because now people are just more concerned about the state of California right now, the state of Southern California, the some of the other things that have happened since the new year came around. But apparently, possibly, that once Trump gets into the office on the 20th, he's going to put some sort of pause on enforcing what was passed through during Joe Biden's administration. So maybe this isn't going to be the end for us in the United States. So who knows? We're kind of like in the balance. And I feel kind of like a sense of loss in that too as well. Not having the freedom, not being able to come and do a live stream or making edits from this live stream and re-uploading it on TikTok. I like this app. I like the opportunity to sell product. The ability to have commerce come through this particular app, I think has been very, very, very beneficial for a lot of people that live around the world, or even in the United States. It's been such a great place for people, a viable income, especially maybe even income during rough times, or let's say an income that might happen if we were to be in a lockdown again, because it's something that you can do from your own home. So I wanted to make sure today is January 17th. I like the number 17. Okay, there's an organization that is the 17th letter of the alphabet. I'm not too fond of them, but the number 17 has always been a good number for me. It used to be on all my like playbills and librettos and stuff like that. It was weird. I always got the number 17, kind of strange. Woo! Anyway, so see. Hi, Elena. Gina Chipman. Ash has joined. Christine Knowlton, nice to meet you. Shannon Herod, thank you for joining. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, the TikTok ban, the state of TikTok in general, kind of talk a little bit about, what's going on with me personally, the stand-up that I did get a chance to headline a club up in Sonora, California on December 12th. And that was really fun. It was a great trip. And I kind of did it in the middle of my finals. But, I usually, like, when you start to go into finals in college, you do your last class. And then you have what they call, like, not dark days, but it's like, you can go and talk to your professor or whatever, or what, but you've got all this time to finish your final projects, and then there's like the last day where you take your exams. So in that time off, just so happens is when I got booked for this gig. And I really think that TikTok helped me get this gig. I mean, yeah, because I started talking and making videos, and if I said something that I thought was kind of funny, I would, clip it and put it out there. And I really think that having a presence again on TikTok for the brief amount of time that I started to focus on TikTok and actually like understand the app and everything, and started to do live streams and having fun with it, it was like, oh, now we're going to take this little toy away from you. Nice to build up a little bit, but we're gonna make this a controversial thing, and we're gonna ban it because you're having surveillance. Let's just talk about being like surveilled. Like right now, AI is probably listening to what I'm saying right now. Like I think recently I was coughing, like I was kind of flummy, and I had an ad pop up on Facebook. Like here's a pill for phlegm. I'm like, oh come on. Like if your app can say something like that, then we're being monitored. We're already, everything already is recorded. We're already getting our informations uh, uh, given to third parties. Okay, so I want to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to play a little bit more Lenny Kravitz. So I hope you like Lenny Kravitz. I'm kind of in a Lenny Kravitz mood. This song, sometimes I play when I get ready in the morning because it kind of gets me juiced in believing that I can do it, that I can make my goals happen, and that you can make your goals happen too. So I'm gonna play this song. I'm gonna play another Lenny Kravitz song. Oh wait, I guess I should keep talking so that it doesn't seem like really super boring. But okay, so and this is Believe. I'll be like, say anything. That movie in the 80s, 90s. Remember that movie? No? How old are you? What music do you listen to pump up to? Hi, Daniel Duke E. Edgin. I might have said that wrong. Edgin. Andrew Mead, 76. Welcome. Joseph DaCosta, 902. Welcome to my live stream. I am Tere Joyce. Light a candle. I don't know. I'm kind of almost in the mood. I'm almost in the mood for the Beatles too, for some reason. I think maybe because it's like, you know, Stephen Allen Green showed up, and he plays guitar, and so sometimes like he plays Beatles music and everything. And I don't know. Today, like a Beatles song came into my head. You know how that works. All right, so um, I'm kind of excited about this year, even though I have 17 units. Um, and I kind of want to share. Why isn't that lighting? Because it doesn't want to. I need to get one of those like little sticky things. I guess like that one's got kind of like a tweak to it. I'm taking a screenwriting class again. Actually, I wrote a couple of screenplays before. Um, they were in an interesting media, but we'll talk about that some other time. But I actually also wrote. It's my second screenwriting class. I took one at FCC, and I wrote the first act of a sci-fi. Yeah, I guess that runs in the family too. I had the opportunity to take a writing class with a guy named George Clayton Johnson, and he wrote the first episode of of Star Trek. He wrote some of the episodes on Star Trek. He also wrote some Twilight Zones, and he wrote the book with I think it was Richard F. Nolan of Logan's Run, the movie. You know, the movie Logan's Run, the story Logan's Run, the original one. So I knew him. He was a big activist for something that I probably can't mention on TikTok either, but use your imagination. It has to do with um, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm sure you do. A guy named Jack Hare wrote a book called The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and it was about this particular topic, and he wrote the foreword for some of the editions for that. So I knew him from that particular community, but oh, I should pull them out. But we used to go to this Mexican restaurant after we would, there he would speak. He would have a glass of wine, and then he would talk about his writing process. And he also wrote Ocean's 11, the original one, with I think the other writer might have been Richard F. Nolan as well, but I'm not sure on that. But he had a co-writer on that. So the whole Ocean's 11 series out there came from George Clayton Johnston. And we would go to a Mexican restaurant, and he would draw these little cartoons. I think of himself like a little cartoon outline with a pen on a napkin, and he gave me a couple of these, and I have them preserved. He's not alive anymore. I do have a couple of his interviews on a hard drive. I shouldn't laugh that I have to get the cord to, but I know I have it. And I think I have it maybe on another YouTube channel. That's the whole thing about when you do content in different places, over the years, you're like, oh, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that interview. But yeah, he was iconic. I know I got off on a tangent there. But okay, so I'm taking a screenwriting class, another one. My capstone. We have what we call a capstone, which is like as a graduate, you have like your final hoo-ha, like where you would be going to possibly in a career. And being a digital journalism major, my capstone is the Collegian, which is the school paper. So I'll be contributing to that. And our professor is signing us to a beat, meaning that we will have, maybe we might have a couple of beats, but a beat is when you write about a particular topic. Like it's like, for example, if you're writing for the paper, your beat might be what happens with police, right? Like arrests or whatever, right? So one of the beats he announced was that he's going to have somebody write a sex column for the paper, and then like about 3 or 4 of the other students go, Terry, Terry, that's Terry, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, I guess I'm going to write a sex column. So I think because I talked about an interest in writing a sex column for the paper, where people would bring in their sex questions, and I would be like, an updated version of Dr. Ruth, and and answer, but I might be able to add some humor to it. And I talked to him, I talked to my professor because I had him for my copy editing class, and I talked to him about it, and I said, oh well, I would be interested in doing that. And I think because I'm in the class for the capstone, I think that's what he wants me to do. Matter of fact, I would maybe bet money in Vegas that that he's gonna probably recommend that for me, that I'm gonna write a sex column as part of my final. And you have no idea the irony in that. Really is kind of interesting. So so that's going on. I mean, that's not the only thing I'll be writing, for my final, but it looks like that's where that's going to go to. And so I have a screenwriting class. I have that class. I'm taking media law. I have to learn about copyright and defamation and all the different laws. So I'm really excited about that. I have a African literature class, and I'm going to be learning about the Harlem Renaissance and all of the different writings that came out from African writers, Black writers. We're starting off with Frederick Douglass. So I'm excited about that. And we had a list of poems to read, and one of them being of Martin Luther King Jr., and we have MLKJ coming up. So that was, I'm super interested in that class. And also, we have to have like 3 different ethnic studies class. It's part of our general education. And so I'm studying Asian. It's Asian American culture, and with the focus is on Hmong, Laotian, and Cambodian. And what they also going into the history, but more not just their culture, but also what it was like for them to come to America, and that transition and the generations that have continued and how their culture has shifted and changed. So I'm super excited to learn about that too. And that's kind of going to be like my last semester. And I like learning, and so we'll see how this ends. But yeah, and my mom is 82 actually. And we met for lunch over the Christmas break, and we were in the car, and she says, I never thought I was gonna live this long. I don't know why I do my mom like that. I go, I just never knew, like, because she doesn't really talk like that. It's kind of like I'm sort of exaggerating her a little bit. But she goes, I never thought I was going to live this long. but I guess I'm just supposed to, live long enough to see my daughter graduate from college. And I was like, oh, and she said to me, she goes, do you remember? I don't know if I did that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. That's my little mic. It's got a little black muffle thing on there, so I don't want to like really touch it. Yeah, this is the DJI Mini mic, and I can Bluetooth it with my video here. So anyway, yeah, that's what she said. So she says, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember before you decided to go back to college that you asked me and you said, do you think am I too old? Am I too old to go back? And my mom says, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So don't ever think that you're too old. You're never too old to do something. And we had this question today, like, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you like? It's everybody that's going to be working on the collegian. We all introduced ourselves, and one of the things that I had to think about it, like, do I have hobbies? I love karaoke. As a matter of fact, I thought I would sing. I would sing along with a particular song before we go. I love doing karaoke. It's a fun, it's just a fun expression. I always have a good time. Before I started classes, I should probably maybe bring a couple of pictures of that evening. But we go to this place called Tipsy's, and it's owned by a couple. They're both women, and they have great Mexican food, and then they have karaoke up until like 10 o'clock. So like, I don't know. I guess I started at around 8 or 7, depending on how busy they are in the crowd. And we all sang just like one song, right? And this time I chose to sing Is That All There Is by Peggy Lee. Old song. A lot of comics have done it, but one song that sometimes I do, and it's kind of cheesy. Maybe I might like sing it really bad tonight because I feel kind of nervous, but I want to challenge myself. I'm not really in the best of voice, but there's this one song that you might recognize. It's a one-hit wonder, although the lead singer of this band ended up writing other songs for other artists. And so and I think like maybe this is a sing along, like, you know what, you have no risk. Like, I might hit a bad note or two or something like that, but you guys, nobody's going to hear you not singing good at all. So, humor me and sing with me, because I'm sure you might recognize this song. Now I gotta find it because I'm kind of improvising it here, but let me find the actual let me see if I can find it in Spotify. I know I can find it on YouTube. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. It's not gonna do it there. Let me go to YouTube. Okay, so while I'm looking for this, think about Gavin Newsom for a moment. Do you know the governor of California? Have you seen his videos where he's smiling and saying, we're gonna build back, everything's gonna be great, I got buyers for the land. Okay, anyways, I'll stop. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. And the words aren't that hard, but I might mess up on the words. Maybe I'll stand up. Whoop! And my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realize quickly when I'm whom I should find the world of my brotherhood of man, for whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just getting all out what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I sneak up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Ooh. And I cry. Oh my God, I cry. I cry all the time in this institution. And I pray. Oh my God, I pray. I pray every single day for a revolution. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just get it all out, what's in my head, and I'm a little peculiar. And I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs. I had to and I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? I said, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Ooh, ooh, ooh. 25 years, my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. You know what's really weird is like right in the middle of that, like TikTok wanted me to do a little puzzle to confirm that I was like real. Oh, it's funny. Well, thank you for all the little like shares. Are those shares? Wow. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin is sharing. Huh. That's interesting. Thank you, Kevin. Wow. Thanks for sharing. That's nice. Okay, so I basically just wanted to come on and I don't know. Hopefully it's not goodbye. Hopefully that you know, I'm not necessarily a fan of Trump at the moment. To be honest with you, I think it's a little bit disturbing that he's talking about buying Greenland, and that we're gonna have uh, Canada join us and everything else. I just like, oh, is he acting like a dictator? All right, hey, but if he is going to do something that is going to keep TikTok on, well, I will give him a round of applause for that. So hopefully he will keep us here and we will be able to. Kevin! Hi! Don't be blue. Thank you. You got this, girl. Thank you. Hi, Patty Barker. Welcome. So Kevin, yeah, what a joy to see you here. That's nice. I appreciate that. Do we know each other personally, or are you just are we just like finding each other here on TikTok? Number one, Ginger Snapped. Hi, welcome. So yeah, so hopefully, let me see. I don't know, 286. League D5 top 99 daily ranking. I'm just like looking at everything. I'm still don't know understand all the little gadgets that happen. So anyway, hopefully it works. I will probably still live stream after the 19th. I probably will be part of TikTok until maybe we're obsolete. Hopefully the United States doesn't become obsolete. Yeah. And then we've had, what is that one guy? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the one who crashed his car into the Trump place, right? Remember that guy? And he wrote the manifesto. Did you read the manifesto? Yeah, when I first read the manifesto, I was like, oh, he forgot a period right there. Like, I'm so into reading copy and editing it that I was like, oh, he needs a period. His punctuation isn't right. I don't know. It's going crazy. So, but I think I will say goodbye. I just wanted to come on and say hi, kind of speak with you and give you an update, and just wish everybody well. Hang in there. Put your good hat on. Put your good dress on. Now I think we might be in for a ride the next 4 years. I think we might be in for a ride on what might happen globally around the world. And not to sound like John Lennon, because people say, oh, well, he's part of Tavistock and blah, 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 blah. But give peace a chance. Like, are we ever going to really give peace a chance? What turn will humanity make? Will we become more loving, more understanding of one another? Get rid of the xenophobia, realize that we're all part of the human race, and come together during hard times, because there are a lot of people who are having a hard time right now. And I just want to keep praying for Los Angeles, and sending my support. I want my friends to know, if they see me on TikTok, and my friends that I've known for a long time, you're in my heart and you're in my minds. And, I am here for, even though I'm not in Los Angeles, I'm here for any type of support that I can offer. So even if it's just praying. And for all of those who are from all over the world, Well, God bless you too. So, and I don't know, what song should I end on? I feel like I need to end on a like a positive note. Maybe we should like play "Give Peace a Chance" by the Beatles. Why not, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do that, and then I'll say goodnight, TikTok. Wait, here's my thing here. Or here we go.
Two, one, two, three, four. Everybody talks about flagging, 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 sticks the line, all we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying
never get that message out there enough, right? And you know what? I just thought of something else because it's MLK Day on Monday. I just love his speeches. Let's just have a little bit of Martin Luther King Jr. Um, let me see. Okay. How about this?
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
So, happy Martin Luther King Jr. on Monday. Oh my God. This song. This is the TikTok song. We got to do it, right? Bye, you guys. Have a great year. And I'll see you after the TikTok ban.